So I got interested in asking this question because there was a time where someone was talking to me and they said something completely unrelated to me, but I felt like a distant memory had been activated and I felt something. And as someone who journals a lot, that kind of stuff is gold because it means that there's something in there that you haven't touched yet. And I started thinking about that and I kind of zoned out as to what my friend was saying. And then that brought me to the question, does journaling actually make somebody more selfish? And you could make the argument that, okay, you focus a lot of your energy on you and you spend a lot of time thinking about how you could improve, how your habits, your patterns. And if somebody mentions something in a conversation, well, it becomes easier to notice things, which is a good thing, but it also means that you sometimes lose focus and then stop listening to what the other person's saying, which might annoy them. But then I think there's the time there to be honest, especially if the friend you're with is non-judgmental. If you can bring this kind of thing up with them, I mean, it depends how serious it is, but if you can bring it up with them, I think you can gain a lot and really develop the friendship. But on the other hand, I feel like everyone has baggage of some sort. If you don't, brilliant. And if you don't care, then that's also fine. Like, there are some people who genuinely don't. There are probably a lot of people who just don't introspect and don't really care that much about their inner feelings and whatever. But there are a lot of people who have emotional baggage that journaling would definitely help deal with. And if you don't deal with your emotional baggage, then more situations that are completely irrelevant to you activate the kind of things I was talking about before. So you actually end up being less focused on other people and more on yourself, despite not doing any inner work. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but that's the way I've experienced it anyway. When there's one thing that you haven't dealt with, almost anything can lead it to be brought up, and then you stop thinking and stop listening, and then you feel bad. And then the other person feels bad, and it's like a cycle. I think other people can only know you to the extent that you know yourself. And if you don't know yourself very well, then your friendships are kind of capped. But again, if you don't really introspect that much, then this probably isn't a big deal. And you're probably happy with the way your friendships are. And that's okay. I mean, not all friendships will be like that, obviously, because some people are not receptive. They don't introspect. They probably won't understand what you're on about. And you might come across as a bit crazy. I have, for sure. But I think it's just so worth it. I mean, why do therapists need therapists? You can't have space to open up for other people's baggage if you haven't dealt with your own as well. I mean, you can, but I think it's much easier to be able to give space and open up to people and have people open up to you if you have opened up to yourself as well as them. I mean, ideally you open up to them as well, but if you open up to yourself, there is just more availability. Someone could say something really deep and really hurtful or really meaningful. Yeah, if you don't journal, I don't think you'll be able to understand that as well as if you have. So that's my argument. I hope it makes some sense.